Hello guys and gals, me Mudar, and welcome back. I actually just came back from my trip, and I was gone for 3 weeks, so this is the first time I'm back, and I know the uploads were a little stagnant, but that's because I was in a nation where YouTube was banned, and accessing it was a crime, I guess, and now that I've said that, and because I have accessed it, I am a criminal, and if I visit the country again, I'm probably gonna get fucked, and the upload speed over there was negative 55 megabytes per second, but now that I'm back in Toronto, we can get back to having more lulls. But anyways, before we begin, I actually came back with an amazing IRL Creepypasta. Now, this IRL Creepypasta is about a player who watches Twitch streams, and also streams of his own sometimes, and there were some content ID changes that happened while I was away, actually, and this is the tale of that said user. Now, I will speak in the tone that, the user would like me to speak in, and that being said, let's begin. So, one day, I was browsing twitch.tv, and I came across my favorite streamer ever, XX Call of Duty Smoke Weed for Life 420 XXX. And he was streaming Call of Duty Advanced Warfare 68, Hardened Edition. He was so far into the game, he was on the secret level of multiplayer, and he uncovered a new playlist, and when he started to play it, his audio cut out. I couldn't hear his story anymore. Twitch blocked it out. And that's where it ended. The audio actually had cut out, and I will get back to you in 30 minutes when the audio comes back. That being said, that was a joke, obviously. If you don't know what the IRL Creepypasta series is, it's a very, very, very rarely ever visited series. Whenever something big kind of happens, I mean, usually when YouTube fucked up its comments, and the inbox system was another fucking video. That wasn't that big of a deal. It was the Xbox One, that kind of stuff. But this is sort of a big kind of thing, if you will. It's exactly what I said a long time ago in that changes video. Now, for those of you who do not know what's going on, and I've actually just been greeted with the, Twitch changes, it seems that the whole Google buying out the Twitch.tv deal was actually legit. Now, as far as I know, Google owns Twitch at this point. I don't think they entirely own it. I think that there's still a talk. I mean, you have to understand, when you're buying a company, it's a long process. It's not like you just buy it and overnight everything goes over to you. It doesn't work that way. So what pretty much happens is that Twitch, now as far as I know, this is just on the broadcast side, not just the archivals. Now that's where, after you're done streaming, whenever you're done streaming on Twitch, if you set it to like auto archive, like I have, it'll archive the stream on a private page for you. Now, from what I know, Twitch has basically enacted this, 30-minute block, if you will. Basically, if you have a 4-hour-long Twitch broadcast, it won't like content ID the whole thing. That's just stupid. What it'll do necessarily is it'll say, all right, we're gonna break this up into half-hour chunks, and we're gonna scan these half-hour chunks. If we find like a second of copyrighted music, we're gonna like block out the half-hour chunk, not the video, but the audio, as far as I know. Now, a lot of people are shitting bricks over this. Like, what the fuck, man? Why are you doing this? Now, let me tell you straight up right here, okay? I stream on Twitch regularly. I have never, hosted broadcasts, prior broadcasts before. No one can access my prior broadcasts but me, and I don't do that for like a special reason. It's just, I've always kept them private, it's just how it's always been, and I can unprivate them any second. It's like a click of a button. I just don't do it. So for me, it's not that big of a deal, and as far as I know, they're deleting all the broadcasts and stuff. I haven't been able to really sign on to Twitch. The servers on my end are still really, really fucked up right now, so maybe sometime later today I can actually sign on to it and see what the fuck's going on, and, like, down to everything, down to brass tacks. But this is an IRL Creepypasta. Is it really that scary? No, to be honest, when I talked about it way back then, it was to be expected. Let me tell you why. Alright? Twitch is a website where 50 million people at least, and I don't know the exact number, I think it's 55 million people, visit the site, every day, if you will, unique visitors to come and watch live stream content. It's that popular. When you get to that stage, and now as far as I know, Twitch is hosted in California, so it's under the US Digital Millennium Act, the copyright law or whatever. I wholly expected them to start doing this. And you know why they do this? It's not really the game sound footage themselves. A lot of streamers, a lot of streamers that I watch, they actually stream the game, but they have like background music sometimes playing. They don't just keep the whole game audio. They have like background music because they're playing multiplayer games sometimes, or it's like a game where it's not like a story heavy single player game, so they don't need the game audio. I don't ever do that. I just put straight up game audio in me. That's all I do. And then there's also games where you have radio content like Watch Dogs or Grand Theft Auto 5, where if you're playing it, you put on Radio Los Santos, so it's an instant content ID block if you put it on YouTube. On Twitch, it's starting to do that. Now, it's not going to affect live content. And the reason it's not doing that, I think it's because A, you have to understand, this is an electronic system, which I'll get to in a second, and B, that's still a lot of stuff for Twitch to do. They can't just process all that system. They can't put the process on a live stream at once. It's a lot of processing overload for them to do. And that's a process a shit ton of times in that whole sentence, but let's go on. So for them to do this, it's not out of the ordinary. I wholly expected the whole content ID thing to kick in. And honestly, I do support it. And let me tell you why I support Content ID. I don't support all of it. I don't support the computer side. I support it as a concept. There's a lot of abuse that goes on YouTube, and I'm not talking about people just simply re-uploading videos. If you're in the movie or music industry, if you've noticed, YouTube's music policy, at least on mobile content I've seen, they've blocked out whole lyric music videos and just allow the Vivo channels to keep them up. Why? That's because it's the artist's verified channel. And, if the artist is going to make any revenue, or they're going to do anything, or they're going to put their message out, instead of having a million other videos with no other content added to it, it's just the raw footage or raw video that people are just simply copied over. It's better for, their traffic to be directed towards the actual producer versus, people who just simply download and re-upload content. So in that respect, I do support Content ID. Even for gameplay sometimes, I do kind of support it when people just upload raw footage without the commentary or anything out of it. They don't do anything special, just upload raw, like, cutscenes of video games. It's sort of understandable because, say you're playing The Last of Us, and what happens is, The Last of Us, if you don't know, is a very story-heavy game. If I just uploaded all the cutscenes, if I uploaded the ending, and there was no system in place in order to stop me, or at least block that video in certain parts of the world, then I'd pretty much be ruining that whole game for certain people. Now, again, it's up to the consumer. If they want to ruin it for themselves, they can. But it's also another way for the content creator, aka Naughty Dog, to also protect their shit. So some people can argue about it, some people can. It's a whole messy thing up till now. But the one thing I'm really against this, and the one thing that absolutely pisses me off, is the whole computer usage. It is completely unfucking fair. Okay, here's how the computer thing works. Basically, you have to understand, on Twitch and YouTube, there is so much content that you cannot have enough humans, at your disposal to actively view that content and monitor it. You can't just have people looking at it and say, I don't think that's legally right. You have to have a fucking lawyer to look at it, and not just any lawyer, an entertainment lawyer, or a person who works in internet law, or law and copyright law or anything. You can't just have regular people. Imagine the amount of costs YouTube would have to go through, or Twitch. So therefore, they use a computer to automatically just scan for, certain music playing in the background, or, they look at what kind of pixels are going on in the video, and if 90% of the pixels matches this Content ID thing, the sample that they've been given, it's going to Content ID you. So the system is there in order to keep costs low and to make sure the system is viable. It works. That's the only way they can do it. But the fact is, it's unfair to the content creator. Even if you upload something to YouTube, or, I don't know, I think soon to be Twitch maybe, and you try to dispute a content claim, you shouldn't do that. And let me tell you why. Because if you don't get it right, first of all, you have to give private information and everything. And then the worst part about it is, if it goes wrong, it's an auto strike for you. So, you're scared to fight it. It's not fair in your favor. No matter who it is. It could be the actual game developer, it could be some third-party company. I've gotten that multiple times, and it's just a whole nother mess for you to go through. Content ID, I was not surprised Twitch instated it. It was meant to happen. People who are saying, oh god, how could they do this? How could my beloved Twitch do this to me? That was a reference to a Creepypasta, by the way, if anyone picked up. But, I expected this wholeheartedly. I didn't think Twitch would, do anything like... I didn't think, Twitch was going to go on forever without instating some kind of Content ID system. And in order for them to survive, in order for you to even have Twitch.tv, they have to follow this because it's a legal law they have to go through. They can't just upload material that's copyrighted. It doesn't work that way. So for those wondering what's going on the Twitch end, that's what's up. And I'm here to, I guess, clear up some misconceptions, because a lot of people think that, Twitch is a bad guy for doing it. it's not really a bad thing. Google, no one's doing anything bad. Google, as big as a company as they are, they cannot go through, they cannot just be above the law. They got to, you know, do this. That's just how it works. But as far as the whole systems implementation, I really absolutely despise it. And that is the fucking creepypasta right there, the implementation. It's completely bullshit and it needs to be fixed. But then again, there's enough bitching about it. We'll have to see what Twitch will do. I've, you know, I mean, I guess I'll write a couple more angry letters, if you will. But we'll have to see how the system's implemented. You know, maybe they might keep it, but you know, because it's a computer system and because it's literally a flick of a switch, you don't know what's gonna happen. We're in like the beta phase of the whole thing, so it's pretty much gonna get better. It's just right now people gotta sort of relax. I mean, it does kind of peeve me off that previous broadcasts are I think they're gonna be deleted now. In fact, I think they are deleted, and you know, there's going to be these 30-minute blocks. Maybe they might shorten them down to 10-minute blocks when the system gets better. I don't know. But that's really been an IRL creepypasta, and I want to kind of ask you all what you think about the whole Content ID thing, because it's been a while since it's happened, and there are good sides and bad sides to it, but I want to see what you all think about it. This has been my take on it, and pretty much the IRL creepypasta. I know it's a little shorter. The best one that I've actually read was the Forza one, all the way back in the Xbox One thing. You know, which edition was it? The Forza 5 Ultra HD, like Midnight Club Dub Edition remix, I don't know. But anyways, this is me back, and one other question, I want to ask you all what you think of the miking setup, because it is different, and I hope it sounds much more clear than before. But that being said, if you like what you saw, then like, comment, and subscribe. This is me, Mudahar, and I am back for good.